Hey everyone, it's Trader Rob. Today is Sunday, November 16th. First of all, I want to just give my apologies that I was not able to get my Sunday weekly levels, my tradable levels, and my weekly bands. As you guys know, I was traveling, or at least if you've been watching the stream, I was traveling last Sunday, and I just could not get to the charts or any type of recording to get out those levels. So today is the day that we get to update all of our weekly bands, all of our tradable levels on the ES and the NQ. So you do have a good roadmap for the trading week ahead, at least for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then obviously Wednesday we give my midweek review. For those of you that have not been watching the live stream each morning, I've been doing a live stream every single morning for about the last 3 weeks. It's right at market open. We go till about maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours into the market. And if you haven't been watching the streams, you've been missing just some absolute fantastic setups that I give before the trade even begins. I give people their entry, stop loss, take profit one, take profit two. And I have to say that the win rate on my setups on stream, some days there's two or three, other days there's up to 5 or 6 setups that I'm mapping out, have over an 85% win rate, majority of them going to TP1 and TP2. And I've got some members that are on the stream every single morning that are constantly posting that they've had, since I've started my stream, they've been at 4-digit profit weeks each week that I have gone live. Um, which obviously makes me feel great that I'm obviously helping some traders, and most importantly, they're getting insights to how I trade my volume based strategy, how I used the volume tools like Level 2 Bookmap, how I use my footprint chart for confirmations, and most importantly, how I'm using my levels combined with volume profile to find really good setups. Majority of the setups come with very little drawdown, and that's kind of how I judge myself on my trades, is the amount of drawdown. And there's been a lot of movement. I mean, a lot of movement these last couple of weeks. As a volume based trader, it's a great environment to be in because we want to see price action moving from zones to zones, leaving unbalanced volume. If you don't know what unbalanced volume is, join the live stream. I pretty much go over it almost every single day, and I think it's a huge help. It's a huge help to the trading community. It's full transparency. You see all my trades. You see the setups beforehand. Not somebody that's just jumping into a trade that you really have no idea why they're doing that, or what their reasoning is behind it, or telling you, "Hey, I'm in a trade 5 minutes or a minute even after they already entered into that trade." So I do pride on myself on full transparency with all my trading. So I invite you to join the live stream. We'll be right back at it tomorrow morning at 8:30. I also do run a signal service. Many of you guys know that. Through my Discord, you can join, or you can join right directly on a link from in YouTube. Just click on membership. And it's $40 a month. And I started this signal service back in February. Since February to now, which is going on a little bit over 10 months, majority of the time I would say there's an average of between 20 and 25 setups given every single month. Again, with clear entries, clear take profit ones, take profit twos, and stop loss, given way in advance of when the trade actually hits. In most, I would say in 95% of the cases. Obviously, if price action is, it's very volatile morning, sometimes those signals come in maybe 5-10 minutes before the actual entry comes. But majority of the time, there's ample amount of time for you to map them out on your charts. There's videos in the signal service that go over how to trade the signals the best way, the easiest way. There's videos on how I come up with my setups. And now that I've incorporated the stream, it's helping out a lot of those members kind of I see them. I see them, they give me levels now that fit where I would be taking trades in. And that's what I like to see because people are catching on to the methodology here behind my volume based trading. And honestly, at 40 bucks, I think it's an absolute steal. I see that there's some signal services that are complete junk for several $100s a month. So it's not something that I'm gouging people with. It's a very inexpensive way to learn the system and confirm possibly even the setups that you find, see where my numbers, where my levels are at, and those will start to help you to figure out how to do this even on your own, how to do this on any instrument. Because with volume, it's the beautiful thing about volume is that it doesn't lie. It'll work on any instrument, the YM, the RTY, gold, the ES, the NQ, all that shit's the same. It all works exactly the same way. So with that, let's get into the intro. Right after the intro, I'm going to go over our new weekly bands and our new tradable levels. Again, to give you a great roadmap for the week ahead here. As always, nothing that I state on my channel is financial advice. Trading futures or any type of trading is risky business. Any capital that is put out there is at risk for loss. All right, so the last, it was about 2 Sundays ago when I put out my last weekly bands and tradable levels. Obviously, I was out of town last Sunday, so I did not update that. But again, if you go back to that video, I highly encourage you to not even just to look at the last one, go back months of these videos and take a look at price action. Specifically, take a look at price action when we start getting close to the tradable levels and to see how they react, how you can scalp these tradable levels. On the NQ, I always say it 10 to 15 points, no sweat. On the ES, 3 to 5 points, great scalps. And then when price action starts getting to these weekly bands, you will see how difficult of a time it has to get through those bands. And the only way they end up getting through them is going to be either through high impact news, a big headline that comes out, tariffs, trade talks, AI development and tech sector, or multiple retaps of the same band. That's the way that they get through these bands. So these are like brick walls. The tradable levels are areas that you can scalp around with good confidence. And again, don't take any strategy blind. Just map them out, put them out on your chart, and see how they react. Take a look at my live stream each morning, and that will also give you confirmation as to what I am seeing and maybe what you are seeing as well. And another awesome thing that I do is every single morning I give out my levels. Okay, every single morning on the NQ and the ES. Just these levels alone will make you a much better trader. Just these levels alone. Forget even like volume, confirmations, just the levels alone. Now, again, if you learn the system and those videos are in there, they're in the Signal group. Once you incorporate the volume profile, you incorporate some of the volume tools that we use, your win rate will absolutely skyrocket. So with that, the new weekly bands on the NQ, I believe we got one above here we still haven't tapped into, 26,182 down to 26,062. Again, if I go through these videos semi quickly on the weekly bands and tradable levels. If you go to my website, robstrades.com, right on the homepage, you'll see an area where you can receive my email every single Sunday that will have all of the weekly bands that I'm showing you, plus all the other weekly bands that are below and above price action, and all of the tradable levels in a very nice, email format that you can then go in on your own time. You don't have to be rewinding this video, and you can map those bands and the levels on your own chart. Again, robstrades.com, and it comes out once a week, every Sunday, obviously minus last Sunday. The closest weekly band to below price action is 24,964 down to 24,899. And then we've got 24,715 down to 24,625. And then finally, we've got 24,570 down to 24,504. We still have a tradable level that's been sitting here for a while. You'll still get a nice reaction. See where it's at on the volume profile. I'm telling you, this stuff just is so repeatable. And again, if you watch the live streams, you'll see what I'm talking about. 24,524. Okay, that's a level that we still have. We're below price action. Now, as far as some new tradable levels, the first one is going to be at the 25,850. Okay, so in between this weekly band, sitting right here, that's the 24,850 is up. Where'd it go? I must have typed it in wrong. Hold on one second, guys. Let's see. Oh, 25.8. I'm sorry, not 24. Let's delete this guy. So that's going to be above where price action is currently at, right there. So that is your new tradable level above where price action currently sits, 25,850. Okay. Next one is going to be at the 25,567. So that one should be also above where price action currently sits, 25,567. And the third tradable level is going to be at the 25,116. Okay, so right below where price action currently sits. Now, with this level, as this level is the closest to where price action closed on Friday, this is not a level that you're going to want to trade blindly at the Sunday open. You have to see which direction the market gaps up or down in. And if it gaps to the downside, you want to see some price action before taking a scalp on this level to the downside. If it gaps to the upside, you want to see price action, have some movement and then come right back down into this level for a possible long. Okay. So this is the one that I want you to be careful with the Sunday open. All right. The 25,116. Now, as far as the ES, and I'm going to go through some of the setups. I can't go through all of them over the last 2 weeks. I think there's been over 25, 30 setups that I've given on stream to my Signal Service group. And like I said, if not 85 to 90% of them have all been winners. But on the ES, we've got a weekly band. So a pretty nice wall sitting above us at the 68.51 down to the 68.16. We also have a weekly band at the 6702 down to the 6670. And then below that, we've got a tradable weekly band at the 6609 down to the 6570. We still have a tradable level here at the 6648, which is below where price action currently is at. And some new tradable levels that we've got is going to sit at the 67.37. So again, right below where price action closed on Friday. Again, same scenario. See which way the market gaps here on the Sunday open, which comes in about 4 hours from right now. And obviously, if we come back up, if we get to the upside, great. Take the long at the 67.37, or at least map it out in your charts and see what kind of what happens, what kind of reaction you get. If we gap to the downside, that's where you want to see price action. Maybe tap into this band, weekly band here, and then take this trade on the way back up. The next tradable level is going to be sitting, I think, right below that. And that one is going to be at the 67.19. So 2 tradable levels right below where price action currently is sitting at. And I believe we have one more at the, oh no, that's it. That's 60, no, I'm sorry. I gave you guys this wrong level. It's not the 67, it's the 68.37. Sorry about that. That makes a lot more sense. So please note that correction. Tradable level sits at the 68.37, which is in between this weekly band. So that makes a lot more sense. So below us, we've got the 67.19 and the 66.48. Above us, we've got the 68.37. All right, so that's giving you a roadmap to the ES and the NQ for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Obviously, in real time, during my live streams, you see the setups play out. Then that's all. This is from what has happened this last week. Obviously, when price action starts moving tomorrow morning, there's new setups that appear, and those are the ones that we provide on stream. Or if you're on my signal service, you get provided those signals even after, for the remaining 6 hours of throughout the trading day. Now let's go over some of the setups. And there's a ton of them, but let's just go over them here. So this was a signal. This is a setup. Again, all of these, majority of these were taken on stream. 67.93, TP1, TP2. That was a short on the ES. Here was a short on the NQ at the 25.290. Again, very little drawdown. All these trades. TP1, TP2. Here's another one. This was a long on the NQ. Almost zero drawdown, maybe a point. TP1, TP2. Here's another one, a little bit more drawdown than I'd like to see normally, but again, TP1, TP2. Here's another one at the 67.45. This was a long, again on stream. Maybe about, I think this was about 2 points of drawdown in this trade on the ES, TP1, TP2. Here's another one. This was a short right here on the NASDAQ at the 25.240. This one, I believe, just hit TP1, so that did not achieve TP2. And these were all from the 13th. What was that? Thursday, Friday. These were all these setups. Let's see right here. This was, what day was this? 13th, November 13th. Again, short at the 25.496. Right there was the entry. We missed actually entry there by a tick, which would have worked out great. But eventually also re-swiped our entry, TP1, TP2. Here's another one. This was on the 12th. Short at the 68.80, TP1, TP2. And again, these setups are given to you with the entries and the stops and the take profits. This is another 68.76, a short, TP1, TP2. And this was just last week. There's 2 weeks here of price action since my last video. And they just keep going and going and going and going and going. So again, I have full confidence in the strategy. It's repeatable. It's pretty much auction theory, and it's a very defined kind of 3-step process on how I find my setups. And I'd love to see you guys on the stream. I hope you guys have a great rest of the weekend and have some great trading days here Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Take care, everyone.